Major General Mark O'Neill. Sir, welcome to the Wolfpack Podcast. We are so lucky to have you join us, our very first general on the show.
Well, Eric, thanks very much for this opportunity. The first, but, I could tee up, give you a couple of recommendations on plenty more that probably will have a better story and have done much, much more than me. But again, grateful for the opportunity.
Well, the humility is amazing, and it's just a defining characteristic of you. Ever since I first met you, I've been dying to get you here on the Wolfpack Podcast for some time. We met together, probably about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago, down in Clarksville, in that vicinity, Nashville, Clarksville. And I remember we went out to eat at a little restaurant, just very humble little spot. You picked the spot. It was great. But if I remember right, you had the fried chicken and I had a Caesar salad. Is that how you...
I don't know. Maybe I had a club sandwich. I think I might have had a side salad for sure.
Okay. You may have. I don't know. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I would never order a Caesar salad in front of a general like yourself. That would be too humiliating for me. I don't think I would ever make it through that.
It was a great time, and it was an awesome conversation we had also. So
Yeah, it was. So for folks that don't know you, you're 33 years in the U.S. Army, decorated combat veteran, 7 Bronze Stars, 1 for Valor, 15 deployments in support of overseas contingency operations, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq, probably a lot of places in between that I'm not able to talk about. Infantry, Ranger Regiment, Delta, Senior Advisor, Chief of Staff of the Army, Deputy CG for a couple of outfits, and then finally Commanding General, United States Army, Alaska at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. Did I get all that right?
That was a pretty good summary there. I was just very, very blessed to serve with some incredible people, to become advocates and supporters of me. And it's just been, it was an awesome career. I got to periodically pinch myself at times, just with some of those experiences that, will last a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, and you did all that without being a West Pointer. What has the Army come to? Seriously.
Hey, truth in lending, this is probably pretty sad, but as you know, before I mentioned, I was raised in Troy, New York. My parents sent me to a private Catholic military school when I was 13 years old, needed a little structure in my life. And really, I wanted to go ahead and play college football, and Norwich provided me the best opportunity. I would have went to any college, but Norwich gave a better package. So I pursued that path, and then would later learn about the United States Military Academy.
All right. Well, I didn't know anything about it. This is way back in the day. I mean, you're a little bit older, not much older than me, but the extent of my college visits, and I lived out in Seattle area on the peninsula of Washington, and there was no such thing as a college visit, college recruiting visit, anything like that. I received the hard copy brochure in the mail, and it was glossy. It was kind of like a peachy, and West Point Military Academy, a couple promotional things inside, but that was the extent of my college visit to West Point.
Well, hey, thank you for going that path, and I appreciate your service.
Yeah, you bet. So you finally retired in 2019, and I might add you're growing a very nice beard, a little bit of gray there.
For sure.
Yeah. Is that part of your cover? And what's the best part about being a civilian these days?
You get to sleep in. And, I had multiple bosses back in the day in uniform. Now we all have bosses, right? We both worked for one also, the same man, but, all those general officers then, and now, I just got the boss being my wife that I just got to, do my best to try to keep her happy day in and day out. So
that's right.
That's my big boss.
Yeah, exactly. She's the one that matters, not the other one that we're talking about. Well, you did come you came back from a nice vacation. It's good to have you. We've been trying to get you on the books here for a little bit because you're involved in some really cool things, some new things, and you're a guy that keeps yourself very busy, and you've had such amazing experiences, and you're such a leader that you've been giving back in a lot of different ways. But one thing in particular that we're both supporting is celebrating heroes. And just by virtue of celebrating heroes, it sounds magnificent. But can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'll give you the kind of not the macro version, but it's a 3-day event. You have choices, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's 3 days of friendship and team building and entertainment, competition, and most importantly, honoring the service of our law enforcement professionals, first responders, and military service members. So it is a lot of great work going into it, a lot of incredible people behind the scenes pulling this, doing their best to simplify the complexity of all that's going on in those 3 days. But folks are doing a phenomenal job. It's going to be a blast. I know you did a session with Bill Wilson, who's the CEO of Prairie Fire. He laid it out pretty well with the Q Training Academy. It's just going to be, world-class instructors on Thursday. Friday, there'll be a rank competition, which is going to be phenomenal. And, Saturday, kind of the culminating event is, friends and family. Craig Morgan coming in to do some performance. Prior to that, we have, law enforcement championship going on, probably expecting 50 two-man teams to come in for that.
Awesome.
Pretty neat, fun event. And the day will culminate with, Fallen Blue ceremony and recognizing some of the law enforcement professional survivors. And we're going to recognize them appropriately and accordingly and celebrate the folks that have, made the ultimate sacrifice and are no longer with us.
Yeah.
So really, it's going to be epic. It's going to be an incredible series of events.
Yeah. No, most of the time you hear about some of these foundations that have very noble causes, and the Fallen Blue Foundation is one that was created and committed to assisting the families of the fallen officers. We lose about 120, it's just a number, but each of those officers has given the ultimate sacrifice, has given their life in the service of duty. And I was looking at the stats the other day. Most of those are now felonious deaths, not accidents, but never had as many felonious deaths as we did last year. And all of them are leaving families behind. And that's the beautiful thing about this whole event. It's not just a gala. Okay, nothing wrong with galas. But you go to a gala, you just pay a couple $100 for a ticket to a gala. You head out, and you participate in the silent auction, and you feel really good about it. And then you go home, and life goes on. And those families are still there, still hurting. And I love the Fallen Blue Foundation. All the administrative costs have been covered for this foundation, by the way, right, by one of the founding members of this foundation. So every dollar that's being raised for Fallen Blue and celebrating heroes is the culminating premier event here is going directly to help those families. And that's just really special and really, really cool. And it's not just, buy the ticket, go to the gala, have your roast beef. This is an immersive experience. And like you said, it starts with, if you want to do a thing on Thursday, you can participate in special ops training in the Q Academy. And that's pretty cool. And then there's some simulation things, Staccato. Actually, the event itself is on the grounds of the future Staccato plant. In Staccato 2011, that handgun is a brand and a sponsor of this big event. So it's a totally immersive experience. Starts Thursday, the 27th of October. The 28th, there's more activity with a law enforcement competition, like you said. The 29th is really the family and friends day, the big day for the Texas barbecue. And I hear there's a flyover maybe, and tanks and other stuff like that you've been helping maybe shepherd and get going. And then the Craig Morgan concert, and just a heck of a lot of fun. I'm bringing my whole team. In fact, my whole leadership team is coming down. So I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's awesome. Looking forward to meeting them. And just for clarity, Thursday, as you mentioned, Q Academy training. Friday is the rank competition. And then on Saturday in the morning, law enforcement championship, and then transition into the celebration of heroes recognition, as you stated.
Okay. Well, all this information, is out on the website, celebrating-heroes, OES, celebrating-heroes with a dash in there, .com. There's another Celebrating Heroes out. That's a different Celebrating Heroes. This is celebrating-heroes.com. You can also go to our website, nutrientsurvival.com, and off on the far right, we have a tab under features that has Celebrating Heroes, and you can get all that information there as well. But we would love to, we'd love to have as many folks out to participate in this great cause. And I know you've been personally engaged. I think you are the head cheerleader and the head logistician and the head you're everything for this thing, right? Gathering cats or herding cats, as they say.
Yeah, I've been empowered to help the collective team along the way to promote collaboration and just synchronization. So again, unbelievable, incredible companies, as you know so well, with Nutrient Survival, ACE-XR, Staccato 2011, Prairie Fire. It's just a lot of folks just doing a lot of great work, and really, really excited to see this come to fruition. So
that's it. That's
looking
right.
Forward to seeing you.
Can't wait. And even if you, gosh, I even tell a lot of folks that weren't engaged with my community, just get yourself there. I'll get you in. Just get yourself there. And again, this is end of October, near Austin, Texas, a little bit north of Austin. For those folks that don't know where Georgetown or Florence is, it's just north of Austin. And get yourself out there. The other thing that's really cool is there are a lot of different levels of tickets. I mean, you can get a $250 ticket, or you can get a $20,000 ticket, and a lot of different choices. Now, most of it is, again, tax deductible. It's not only just a great time, it's a great cause. The money's going to help folks, and you can do as much or as little as you want. And of course, there's different bundles and packages as part of those different ticket levels. I think the top ticket level, you get 2 guns, you get 2 Staccatos, you get a 90-day supply of Nutrient Survival. You get a bunch of stuff in addition to attendance. And this is the thing that I think is really, really cool and just shows that family, friend, and fellowship is such a core theme of this. You get 1 ticket, you get your whole family in. So $250 for a ticket to Friday, Saturday gets you to the concert, gets you to the Texas barbecue, if you got 10 kids, I don't think there's a better deal on the planet. You can't go down to Golden Corral and have a better time than you would out at Celebrating Heroes.
Yeah, I just tell folks that have any interest, it's going to be an incredible event. www.celebrating-heroes.com.
Right on.
Check it out. We'd love to see you there.
That's right. So are you personally participating in any of the events? Are you going to do any of the training? Are you going to participate in the rank?
Fortunately, I've plowed lots of fields with the folks providing the instruction in years past. So I'm actually going to be that inside linebacker or rover, just to try to make sure everything, stays on the rails, which I'm confident it will. I am not going to compete, though, somebody wants to call me out. Hey, listen, it's just a great opportunity, a great experience. It's a great opportunity to hone your skills, better yourself, each and every day should be everybody's goal. And just the friendship and the camaraderie, it's going to be really neat. But I'm going to be doing a lot of things. I'll be juggling balls and spinning plates. And right now I'm not focused on the competition aspect of it. I want to have everybody, that competes just have a world-class experience, experience some unique stuff and, really have fun, right? Yeah. Meet new people, build relationships. I think it's going to provide all that and more.
So if I need a little bit of help in working on my grip, can I just whisper to you, hey, Mark, can you come on over and help me get my, sight picture down?
Yes, and I hope you'd say, "Hey, Mark, can you lend a hand? Can you give me a help? Can you give me a, I hung the boots up in 2019.
All right.
Again, lived bonus chapters well above and beyond.
That's it.
Just trying to be the best platoon leader that I could possibly be back in the day. So.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What a humble leader. So, and to that point, I know you're spending a lot of your time these days giving back to organizations, applying your years of experience as a special operations forces operator, leader, some of the highest performing organizations in the world, infantry companies, Rangers, Delta, Army divisions. I mean, wow. And now you're involved with, as I understand it, Staccato. 2011, you're on the board, and they are a gun company out of Texas, Austin area, Georgetown. And you shot a lot of weapons in your day, I imagine. So what is it about Staccato? Is it the weapon? Is it the people? Is it I don't know, just you had extra time on your hands?
Well, it is the people, and it is a kind of world-class product. So having just through relationships, there was an opportunity, there was a query about, hey, could, anybody know anybody that has some, past military experience, done a few things. We had an opportunity to have a couple of virtual sessions, this is all pre-COVID or during COVID, and just had a wonderful session with Nate Horvath, the CEO of Staccato 2011, and would later have a follow-on one with our chairman. And to me, it just felt so good from my values and the company's values. And to me, alignment matters, right? So, and it has just been really, really fun. So just incredible people, world-class product, built for heroes, made in Texas. And
can't get any better than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I married into the state. My wife's from Texas. Right. I still get to refer to as, the son-in-law that's a Yankee from, upstate New York. But, and then, Truth in Lending, our issued weapon or pistol back when we came into service was the 1911 45.
Sure.
Of course, Department of Defense, navigated different products post that, Beretta, now, the SIG 320. But the opportunity and the experience that I had within the special operations community, the 1911 was our issued pistol. We did a lot of time, had world-class instructors, just some really, really, incredible human beings, heroes that invested in us. And I just, the 2011, the 1911, I haven't shot my 1911 now for a period of time. I'm all in on the family of Staccato 2011 pistols. Love them, love each and every model, and just really enjoy helping others. And of course, when you assemble, you run around with that team, of course, folks love the, competition's awesome. It's always fun. So we'll make up different drills and have a blast and have some cool experiences and really promote the inclusion and the inclusivity of the company and the team. So it's my home away from home. So
beautiful.
Pretty neat.
Beautiful. Well, I know personally, I've got a P and the C2, I think, but the P. And what I've learned is I'm a much better shot shooting a Staccato.
It will make anybody a better shooter. So
well,
just
no doubt.
Bring whatever pistol you have, and we'll have the family of models available. And I wouldn't surprise that somebody will just probably throw away their current handgun and pursue purchasing a Staccato 2011.
There you go. You probably can do that right down there, I imagine. And
I have lots of guns, and they're the only ones that I'm pulling out and, getting quality reps in.
That's it. Quality reps. Love it. Well, not only are you the first general we've had on this, but you're the first Delta guy And, we hear a lot. I don't know. We hear a lot about the Navy SEALs. It seems like everybody is coming out with a book or a movie or some expose, and they've really, I think the SEALs in general are all over the place out there in the public eye, and certainly a lot of mystique and, and just appreciation for the SEALs. Delta Force, not so much. I remember the Chuck Norris movie way back when. Well, you chose a dangerous profession by virtue of being in the military, and then you chose even more dangerous avenues as you progressed through your career. When did you realize that you wanted to make the move to Special Operations Forces, first Rangers, then Delta?
Well, it's, the theme about investing in people. So as you live the experience, right, we get our commissioning, we go off, try to be the best platoon leader that we possibly can be, may have some opportunities as company executive officers, maybe be able to, lead or be responsible for a niche platoon, a scout platoon or what have you. So I'm just, accumulating these relationships and meeting just great people. When I was in Hawaii, after the advanced course, really kind of getting vetted to be a company commander, was a staff officer for an infantry battalion in Schofield Barracks, 127 Wolfhounds, 3rd Brigade, Bronco Brigade. Right. I met a bunch of former platoon leaders from the Ranger Regiment that were there, jumped in, was part of Operation Just Cause.
Yeah.
And there was just some great relationships formed from that. And, really they were the ones that kind of influenced me to pursue the path of, hey, submit a packet. Mm-hmm. Hey, there's some alignments and compatibility. You're kind of wired like us. Why don't you give it a shot? So I gave it a shot. I put a packet in. The regiment accepted me, and I got there early '94, post Somalia, and just met some incredible human beings, dedicated professionals, had a blast. Yep. And then from there, you see that, you experience that, you meet some other senior non-commissioned officers or some commissioned officers that say, hey, have you considered, assessing for this formation? So I gave it a shot, right? Because I knew one thing for sure, I would never make it. I had 0% if I didn't try. And I gave it a shot, and fortunately things worked out, and the rest is history. So,
as they say, the rest is history. It's amazing. You look back on your life and you have no idea what's, where you are today. And I mean, even I remember when I was a cadet, you'd see a colonel walking across the plane, and you pop off, you salute and everything. And you're like, man, that guy's old. He's done he must be ancient. And now, I've got folks, I'm going to go back east here to celebrate with one of my buddies that is retiring after 35 years in the service. Now, he had prior service as well, but just a great guy down in Huntsville, Alabama. And these are lifetime friends that have just done amazing things. And you look back and like, wow, such admiration. But you'd never be able to call it when you're that second lieutenant at Schofield Barracks, or I guess you're a first lieutenant at Schofield Barracks, like, here's the path I'm going to take. It's just, like you said, relationships, trying things, walking through doors, taking a shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, all that stuff. And just living your life, living life, right?
Yeah, I just would amplify a couple things. I'd say, it's about, just embrace the journey, right? And hopefully you're surrounding yourself with incredible people that will help inform you, guide you, assist you. As we all had to make personal and professional decisions and whatnot. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't. But it's those relationships, and it's that investment in people that have really created the opportunities for me to date. Right. So I just would say keep investing, and people matter, and hopefully we all strive to be a better version of ourselves, each and every day.
Right on. Good. Well, you've been in some, I'm sure, very dangerous situations. Was there ever a time, General, that you thought you were going to die?
Yeah, there was a couple of times.
Probably not laughing matters.
Truth in London. My first experience, well, I guess, back in the day when you're driving, you get your permit, and you fall asleep at the wheel, and you just, all of a sudden, what makes you wake up and avoids, running into a telephone pole, right? Okay, so thankful that did not happen, but was in a pretty serious training accident in Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. It was a very sad day, and we're on a training exercise in Hawaii, the mountains, the gulches, water flows down into the ocean. So we were finishing up a battalion training exercise, and after several days of rain, so we're out. I'm the logistics officer for the battalion. I'm riding in a Humvee with our intelligence officer in the back of the doghouse of a Humvee, right?
Sure.
Big canvas top, benches. Can't really see what's in front of you, behind you, because, the driver and the TC are at a lower level. Well, unfortunately, as we were checking on the troops, making sure folks are being accounted for, we had to cross a concrete slab that, unbeknownst to us, the water was high. The water was traveling at a high rate. The leader, our battalion XO, and the driver had a discussion, made an assessment, and we attempted to go through, cross it over, and we didn't make it across. We ended up kind of doing a little bit of brown water rapids, if you will, with a Humvee that eventually would, roll over. So we all did the bailout drill the best we possibly could. 2 survived, 2 passed. That was one of my training exercise experiences that will last, a lifetime for me. And I'm hypersensitive, just even driving by, creeks and streams, even as a passenger or a driver. That's just something that, I guess has scarred me. And, I'm always looking to try to prevent bad things happening to good people.
Right on. Yeah. That's traumatic.
And then, again, I won't go into other stories, but in combat, there has been, a couple just, hey, hope we all get out of here, right? Not just me. It's it's all about the team. It's about that extended family out there hunting versus being hunted. So anyway, I'll just leave that for our next podcast.
Okay. Is there a particular media, because it is a very mysterious organization, is there a particular movie, book where you look at it and you're like, man, they got it right. They got it more right than not?
I haven't been in a movie, or being portrayed in one, but I have, friends and colleagues that have, served and participated in. So there's always the Hollywood spinoff. I think, Saving Private Ryan is probably, from all that I've heard from veterans in that era, replicate just the incredible bravery that was portrayed and just the lethality that they had to kind of navigate through during that time period. So that's all I got right now. I
don't remember Delta being in Private Ryan. Okay. Well, as you know, the world is in a bit of turmoil, especially these days. Russia, Ukraine, China, the EU, even here domestically, we're not without our issues. And, a lot of people looking internationally look at those situations and say, those are their problems. Those aren't our problems. But what do you make of that relative to our business here in the United States? Are there things that keep you up at night relative to what's happening internationally?
Well, people believe in who they believe in, but, I pray to God every night that, one, we don't relive another 9/11. And praying for, integration and inclusivity versus everybody just, swinging at each other, that we sometimes tend to lose our focus and we get surprised. And that's what keeps me up at night. I'd rather see, I'm an advocate of unity versus just being splintered and being divided. And that's America. But I just, hope for the best that our senior leaders and those elected civilian leaders make good choices. I'd rather ask them, what's keeping them up at night. Right. Because my gut feel is they're probably a little similar. Or could be a little similar.
Yeah, we hope so.
From my perspective.
An event like 9/11, horrible. But we came together. I remember that. We came together, and we came together very quickly because we had at a core level, we shared the same values, the same love of country, and just the little issues that tend to get in our way, the bickering that tends to get in the way on the little issues, couldn't keep Americans from coming together in this very needed situation where we needed to provide an answer and make things right. And that was a beautiful time. I remember that very, very vividly. I was in the service. Actually, no. I wasn't in the service. I had left, but I remember having that feeling like, wow, I wish I was still in the service, and just having such admiration. But all the little issues, the little differences, they went away. That was just noise.
Well, one thing, I just had an opportunity, was down in Lubbock, Texas, talking to a couple of middle school classrooms of our youth, our future leaders of America. And one of the students had an uncle that served in Vietnam. And, I made a point of, post 9/11 with all the deployments, our Vietnam veterans were just passionately driven for us not to have to relive some of the things that they came back to post their tours, fighting, that conflict. And so I commend the effort and the energy and the, commitment to our Vietnam veterans looking out on our behalves. I hung up my boots. My youngest son is a staff sergeant in 1st Ranger Battalion, already, has had coming out of Afghanistan, Iraq, back in the day, closing up, he's already had, 4 combat tours. Probably his first tour was the biggest challenge for me as a dad, knowing the folks that he is, they are running with. So, it's just right. The legacy or the journey, still continues. And now, within our children, similar to Bill Wilson as, young 11 Bravo up in Fort Wainwright, Alaska. I called him just to kind of check on him, see how things were going, see if it's warmed up a little bit since I left in 2019, but he's still hanging tough. So anyway, just a little reflection there of we all have skin in the game somehow, some way, extended family or whatnot.
That's right. That's right. General, you've been a servant leader your entire life. And now that you are in this new phase where you've had a lifetime of service to the nation in a lot of different capacities. What's your philosophy today now relative to who you are and what your mission personally is now that you're out of the service with kind of a day-to-day, wake up, put the boots on, as you like to say, you've hung those boots up, but put the boots on and carry on with our nation's business?
Great question. As I was transitioning, of course, you reach out to mentors, advocates and bosses, et cetera, that you've had in the past, and just, kind of bouncing things off. So I just, at the end of the day, did not want to pursue corporate America. And what I opted to do was establish a limited liability company with the desire of just doing lots of things for people that I'm aligned with their values, with their mission, with their products, et cetera, and to, help them, gain some traction in the areas that they're pursuing. So pretty simple, the big four for me is, leading, sharing, adapting, and growing. I think everybody needs to do that personally and professionally, on a daily basis. I'm not burning down, pushing resumes out. I'll send. It's really all been through networking and the relationships you have formed and where they go as you have buddies that you've served with, are just creating some of these opportunities for me to give back and to try to help contribute and raise awareness of certain products that folks believe in, and if that alignment is there with my moral, legal, and ethical views, and then it's been pretty fun. So I get to kind of pick and choose who I want to run with, and the ones I don't have to, right? I can go do something else. I love people. People fuel me. I'm a big fan of just taking care of people. I forget the country western singer, just slipped my mind right now, but being humble and kind. We just need to be better people each and every day. And if we do that, it's infectious, and maybe we'll be in a better place much sooner if we can, Tim McGraw. There you go. A little bit of frequency hopping here.
That's it. That's it. No, I think that's beautiful. That definitely comes through loud and clear. Humble and kind is how you live your life. Leading, sharing, adapting, growing. Those are great aspiration planks for how to live the rest of your life out. You're still a young guy. You got a lot to give back, but man, sticking to those, leading, sharing, adapting, growing, we can all learn from that. And that's amazing. Well, thank you for doing that for Staccato and for Celebrating Heroes and so many other companies I know you're involved with. Well, let me just ask you a couple final questions here. Number one, we are a bit of a survival food company, emergency food company. And something I always love to ask folks is, if I were to grab you and drop you onto a deserted island right now, what would be in your pockets? What would you have with you? What's your EDC look like? Can you just give us a little bit of a show and what you got on you right now?
So
that's big for a pocket.
Old school fanny pack. It really bothers me to this day. I predominantly, every time you'll see me, I usually have a jacket and I have things in my pockets, in my jacket versus in my pockets, in my pants. So in viewing Brother Wilson's podcast with Brother Christensen, here's some things that I carry with me in my go bag, on my person, or in my outer shell that, I think and believe will, get you through, some of the very toughest days. Right.
All right, cool. What's the first thing?
So, of course, matches, a starter kit. From those experiences and times in Alaska, you just, never wanted to leave home without it. You had little travel,
Heat.
in your vehicle,
That's
pack,
right.
etc. Quality flashlight.
There we go.
My trusty Swiss Army knife.
No doubt. Old school. Look at that.
Old school, but think about it, right? What it has, right? Things to cut with, scissors, toothpick, tweezers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I am a fan of this. I mean, I don't get anything out of the company or whatever. I'm a big fan of bands, right? So I have this, performance better, or perform better, from, hey, my vehicle breaks down. I'm a big fan of like prep movement before exercising or whatever, just to get things fired up or whatever. Or if it's another way to also kill some time and do some exercises. So you can do them on your arms, your shoulders, or you can go ahead and do it with your legs too. So,
and there's other utility beyond exercising.
Yeah, it's a universal tool. So we always had this as an SOP, just chapstick and a lighter, right? So just 550 cord.
I've never seen that before. Okay, so it looks like a tube of petroleum jelly.
Petroleum jelly and a lighter.
How about that?
Case. It's it's a Alaska TTP.
Okay.
That,
you were a ranger.
Technique and procedure.
You are 100% a ranger wearing that 550 cord around your neck with a lighter and chapstick.
Now, I did have this stuff during spring turkey season, so I do not need this, but I do have it with me, and it's a little camo pack. So
hypoallergenic, right?
That's for me to go ahead and close the distance on, as we're talking about being a gun owner and gun enthusiast. I am a huge fan of preventing probably the leading cause of death in America, or probably the world, and that is hemorrhaging. And big fan of stopping the bleed. So in my go bag, in my vehicle, I have a tourniquet.
Right on.
And if you own a gun, each individual should probably own a tourniquet. And if you own a gun and own a tourniquet, you better know how to use both of them.
With one hand. With one hand, yeah. And
one point I say about tourniquets is, what better way, or better, the best honor is to save another human being's life. And this very well can do that. Now, that's driving back from home, going back to Kroger or Publix or wherever you do your grocery shop, you come up on an accident, right? Hey, if in doubt, take action, do your best to save a life.
Right on. Awesome. That's
all I got.
Those are some cool kit there you got. And, I was going to make fun of you because of the fanny pack.
My wife does all the time. She just hates it.
But you could kill me with your finger. I'm sure you could kill me, crack my neck with a finger. The other guy that wears a fanny pack is Chuck Liddell, UFC. He wears a fanny pack around, and nobody makes fun of him. So that'll teach you. All right.
I will throw that around. I will extend the waistband. I will throw that around my shoulders. I'll put it in my go bag.
Okay. All right. Well, I've given up my fanny pack days. I just can't do it. I can't do it. All right, General, before we go, if you can just say it one more time. So Celebrating Heroes, it is celebrating-heroes.com. Anything else that folks should know about that event?
Check out the website.
Okay.
Again,
it's all there.
www.celebrating-heroes.com. It's going to be such a great event. And just remember, learning never stops. Enjoy your journey. I think the experience for the 3 days is, honing your skills, you're pushing yourself, you're connecting with some great human beings, meeting some super people, and you may correct or modify some of your, bad habits that you've been doing. And, why not hit up a couple of these world-class instructors? You'll be a better version of yourself by the end of the day.
Right on. I love it. Well, Major General Mark O'Neill, amazing patriot, servant leader, mentor, I dare say even a friend. Thank you for your lifetime of service. Thank you for being with us, and God bless you, sir.
Eric, thank you. Appreciate all you do, and hopefully we'll get another opportunity to do this sometime down the road.
Right on. We'll see you in Texas.
Can't wait to see you at the end of October.
That's right. We'll see you in Texas. All right. Giddy up.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Bye-bye.